All right, welcome back to the MartiniWorks Podcast. I'm here with
Joe
and
Brent.
Hi, Brent.
Brent hasn't been on the podcast in a while. Brent, give one fun fact about yourself.
And one lie.
I died last week and I came back to life.
That's true.
So if my voice sounds a little raspy, that's why.
I'll start worshiping you. All right. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the rise and fall of the stance scene. I thought that'd be interesting to talk about a little bit because back in the day, I was obsessed with stance cars, and I feel like everyone was. Like, it was like a cultural phenomenon, and I feel like it just went insane, and we really got to live in the peak of when stance cars were.
Yeah, because like when I was getting into cars and started modifying cars, it was like you said, it was kind of like at its peak. Like it was in its heyday of this shit's going crazy, and that's what I remember all the videos being and like all the social media at the time being. So yeah, I'd say like it had a huge impact on like my taste in cars at the time.
Absolutely. My first few cars, the only thing I wanted to do with them was lower them.
Yeah.
I remember I had a Mustang GT, and it was cool and it was fun. It was a good car. Maybe not a good first car, but I wanted to lower it and slam it so bad. And like at that time, there just wasn't like, I couldn't find BC extreme lows or anything for it. So I was like, I don't even want this stupid thing.
I can't slam it on its nuts. I hate it.
And then I got a Cobalt SS. Immediately, I get BCs. I dump it as low as I can go. And then like it doesn't go that low. So I'm like, I'm doing the stuff where I'm taking the locking collars out of my coilovers. I would literally lower it, go drive it, like take some photos of it. And I'm like, it's not low enough. I go drive it back in my garage, jack it up, and figure out any way I could. Like, literally, it got to the point where...
Did you remove your springs?
No, not that bad. We ran into some people in GAT that were doing that. You might have to tell that story, Brad. But I was tearing through my CV boots because the coilover strut was spun all the way through the bottom of the mount. So it was hitting my CV boot.
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I just had them completely maxed out and then some, and I wanted more low. And camber was always weird with the Cobalt SS, so I couldn't build the stance car I really wanted. But it just goes to show, like, I was just so infatuated. It was the only thing I really cared about. I think it was a lot to do with like Crispy's after movies, honestly. Like, I remember getting off work and sitting and watching those, and maybe watch them 2 or 3 times because I just loved them.
Yeah. Dude, those had a stranglehold on everybody within the stance community, I swear. Like
100%.
I feel like that's how I became aware of it. Was those
me too.
videos between Crispy, Halcyon, a couple others at the time doing it. But like that opened my eyes to seeing like how people were modifying these cars and stuff like that. Because at the time, you know, Instagram was starting to become
It was still
thing,
like
but it was
just like
still,
people taking cell phone photos of their food,
Right.
Or like really bad filters over random photos.
the car scene hadn't taken over Instagram yet.
You know where it did though, where it just was starting to go crazy was Facebook groups and pages.
Oh yes, yeah.
Like pages. So that like you had like lowered lifestyle, and I remember I shot for this one called Laced Up, and it was just like all focused on stance cars, Stance Nation.
Yes.
I feel like that was a big one.
Stance
Like,
Nation was huge.
yeah, I remember even scrolling on Facebook and seeing my first car with like excessive camber or more camber than usual, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, how did they even tilt the wheels? What is that? And I thought it looked so unique and so different.
So different.
So it really just transferred. It's crazy to think about because like I feel like obviously my dad, when you know he had a car back in the day, no one was slamming them or cambering them out.
And
so,
if
like,
they were, it was just like they were lowering them, but like everything was tucked. Yeah, like they're tucking the wheel. Like,
and I feel like though it still wasn't like excessive.
No.
Unless it was like
it was
low riders.
It was like
or
natural
something.
camber, if anything. They never added it.
yeah, low rider or like a like a rat rod or something. You know.
So I feel like the later 2000s, like once you start getting into like say 2011 and up, or is that too early?
I don't know, because I was looking, because we were talking about this, and I was just looking back at like H2O International. You know, we've talked about it before, but like that being like one of the big stance shows that I remember seeing all the after movies for. And you asked the question, was like, was H2O, was it an actual car show, or was it just like a weekend that everyone just decided to go to Ocean City? And it apparently was. It was a car show that was, at the article that it was a Motor Trend article, and it was written in 2014. It said it had been going on for 15 years. So that would put it in like 1999 or 2000 as like the first.
And I think, it was just a Euro focused, like
It seemed very Euro focused.
But then I think it got really stance oriented.
But I remember seeing, it was probably around like, personally for me, of course, like a little bit younger. So like I started to get into cars a little bit later. And Brent, maybe you can adjust to this too. But like it was like 2013, 2014. I remember seeing a lot of that stuff really start to come out.
Yeah, I think I came into it because I'm 26. I came into it right when I think camber was just noticed as like a cool thing and a trend, and people started actually going and doing it more.
And that was about when?
That was I probably got into it seeing after movies and stuff in like 2015.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit later into it.
Sure.
But yeah, at that point, camber and everything was already established. So I would imagine it would be like somewhere around like 2012 is when they started to do that.
Yeah, if you guys haven't, I would say, because me and Jules were doing this right before we hopped on the podcast, go watch one of Crispy's or Halcyon's old like after movie or event videos. Man, the nostalgia just came like pouring in, and seeing those builds. We were talking about what was popular, and I want to go through that a little bit because it definitely has changed to now. Even like comparing stance car to stance car, they're very different builds.
But there's some things that have stuck.
Yeah, 100%. But like CCWs, avant-garde wheels, WCI, which was a bit controversial.
Became
they not even RAP. They're sketch. What else? Bags on everything. Static cars too were big.
Car clubs.
Oh my dude, we were seeing so many banners like Dapper,
Lace or Fat Lace.
Fat Lace is a big one.
Illest,
yes. There was, and I feel like all of those
Tilted,
things,
Camber, all the
were mostly, and like, sorry, I don't want to like call out. I feel like they were all like Facebook pages, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's basically. Because now they're just like gone.
I do remember though, like watching those, and I'm like sitting in my like bedroom watching these movies with my bone stock SXT neon. And I'm like, dude, I want a Dapper decal so bad. Like, I just remember, like, I want to be like a part of that someday. How do I get to be a part?
Clubs, right?
I believe so. Yeah, or it was like a brand, or,
but it was like it was like a lifestyle brand.
So is that like
/ car club?
So like one of them that have probably made it then would be Vaded, right?
Like Vaded, was it Violent
Click is still around.
A lot of those.
And they do
it seems
a lot of
like
stuff, and they're active
similar,
in the communities. But a lot of them, I feel like died with the show almost, or I don't know. It changed a lot. A lot of Euro cars, and then there was like a couple exceptions. I'd say one of the biggest exceptions. It seemed like everybody in that time frame was begging their Subaru.
And I remember that was such a controversial. It was like the bug eye and blob eye Subarus, like,
and Hawkeye, honestly.
How dare you do that to a rally car?
Exactly. It was like people were throwing them on air suspension, and then they had camber on them, and they were like fender to lip, and it just broke people's minds of like, how dare you do that to a rally car? You basically took away all of its function. And at the time, I remember those cars were like pretty expensive still. Like, they were kind of like that age where they weren't like cheap, but like they weren't like super expensive. So it was kind of like a thing where it's like, it was like a goal car for a lot of people. Like, oh man, I want to save up and get one of these someday. And then seeing someone do something like that crazy to it.
There's a lot more clean ones at that time too.
Yeah,
they hadn't been ran through. So it's like it's a lot tougher to go and do that to a really nice Subaru.
Yeah.
When it's like it has all that potential to be really good off road.
Airlift's been around since like 1949, 1950 or whatever it is, when they were using like air to like help with racing cars and stuff like that. But then like Airlift Performance came out, and I feel like this is around the era where like Airlift 2, I don't even know what it was called.
V2.
And then, V2, and then 3P. Like that was like peak stance car culture, I feel like. And I feel like, I don't know, it's starting to die out, and maybe in the second segment we can kind of get into that more. Also, stay tuned, guys, if you want to win some stuff for free. We'll be telling you how to do that shortly. Stay tuned for that. But early 2015, I'm calling peak.
Really?
Stance.
I agree.
And I think after that, slowly declining.
Sure.
I fully agree.
Yeah, we were kind of going through the videos and stuff too, and I'm trying to like think back too, and like even I know like the shows and stuff here in Wisconsin, you had their like every now and then you have like a really like stance car roll through like some of the shows up here. It wasn't as common here anyway. But you kind of saw this trend of like the camber and stuff got like more accepted. There's a lot of builds on like air suspension, or even started rolling through the static like kind of phase, and then it like kind of evolved. Like you started seeing like the big wings pop up and like a lot of the aero heavy stuff, and it was like 2016 2017 I feel like evolved into that like combination of like time attack aero but like still low as fuck kind of show build.
Everybody had a wide
it was
body
just
and bag.
everything was just loud. Like it was like I kind of refer to it like 2020 COVID like TikTok room with all the LEDs and shit. Like that was a trend. It's like that same vibe. There was LEDs everywhere.
Loud colored wheels.
Loud colored wheels. Big aero. Like everything that could be touched was removed and replaced with something carbon. This.
It's like because you still have a lot of that now.
100%.
But I do think it's more dialed in because like. Yes, we have big wings now, but you go back and like you watch these videos, dude, there's S2Ks where the stands are literally like 3 feet tall on these wings. Like I remember big wings being like, that's what I wanted when I had my Evo 10.
You had one, yeah.
I wanted to have my car as low as possible, and I wanted to buy the biggest wing I could afford, which wasn't much, but I still ended up, I think I bought it. Yeah, I did. I bought it used.
APR wing?
No.
Voltex?
No. It was some like.
Veris?
No. I can't even remember the brand. I remember I bought it from a guy on Instagram though, and I followed his Evo 10 forever, and he had a Varus kit or Varus kit on his Evo 10, but it wasn't a wing like that. But I remember he shipped it to me, and it was quite the box. And then I self drilled it into the trunk, and I remember the first one. Because I had a mechanic, and he was so cool because he was willing to help me with anything aftermarket. A lot of, mechanics are like, no, I don't do that. This guy, he's younger. He was into the stance scene. So like he would take my Evo 10 and he would put boards under it and help it get on lift, and he didn't complain. He didn't care. He thought it was cool. So I called him like, hey, I got this wing. I've never installed one. Will you help me put it on? He's like, yeah, totally. He's like, but I'm not going to be in for a couple days. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Well, get the drill.
Me and my friend were sitting there looking at it, and we're just like, fuck it. So the first hole I go to drill just walks on the trunk. Oh my god.
It's so gross.
On my Evo 10, I wanted to fucking throw. I was immediately
because that was like what year?
My Evo, or what year I was doing?
What year it was?
Oh shit. Let me think. It had to have been like,
because I want to say that was a relatively newer car at the time. Still,
I was 19, so
I know you had it in 2015,
13,
and it had the big wing and stuff.
2014, maybe 2014.
And what year was the car?
2015,
2008.
2008. So still like at the time relatively like new, because I look at like when I bought my FRS a few years ago, and like when that came out, like that time difference was about the same, and like that was a car had like 13,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
So it's like I imagine like doing that to like a new car essentially. Just whoop.
Yeah, 100%. And luckily though, I did go through with it because the plate, the mounting plate of the wing covered it up.
All right, fair enough. Brent, I remember you showing me some photos.
Brent was a stancy boy.
He was a stancy boy.
Yeah, I had a stance car that I didn't build, but I did have a red Mark IV GLI on.
Classic.
Yeah, on Airlift 2P, some 3SDM wheels.
What color were they?
They were silver.
Okay.
And yeah.
Were they the big 5-spoke ones?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Classic.
And had the kitchen trunk.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Dakota loves that.
That car was actually immaculate though, and I bought it as kind of a younger kid, and I was like, this is gonna be my daily. And then winter came, which I shouldn't have dailied that car in winter, but I did. And the front passenger side bag had a leak only when it was like below zero, which is never should never drive a car on bags below zero temperatures. You can, but I don't know. I would have to like I would be going to work, and I'd be watching my air pressures. They'd be falling. My car would be just
oh my god,
it was that bad of a leak.
Jesus.
Oh, it was bad. So I'd like have to like hit the button and be like just slowly go back down.
Jesus.
And I did that for a couple months.
And you truly were like, a Volkswagen kid.
Yeah. But as the car was like immaculate, not a speck of rust anywhere. So I was like, I can't do this to this car.
Yeah.
So I had to get rid of it because I just felt too bad. I was like, this car needs to like sit in a heated garage.
It was
and
stupid clean. You showed me photos and it looked really nice.
Yeah. So I got rid of it. The person who bought it allegedly put it in a heated garage in Minnesota somewhere.
Okay.
So if you're watching this podcast, let me know because I want to see that car.
That would be so
I
cool
miss
if
it.
it's still alive.
Right.
You should buy it. So you had a stance car, Dakota. Stance car? Would you classify any of your builds?
Oh, 100%. Even my Cobalt, I mean, I was putting 215s on 9.5s, and I had it as low as I possibly could go.
Gnarly.
Because I wanted it to be a stance car more than anything. And then again, my Evo 10, I had it on MB Battles for a while, just absolutely dumped on Fortune Auto coilovers. I literally had it like a half inch off the ground.
Now the ST,
And then the ST. Yep.
but that was a bit later.
Yep. I stuck with it, but what was interesting with that is when I got that, I was starting to get out of it a little bit. So I put Fortune Auto coilovers on it, and I autocrossed it, and I took it to the drag strip, and I was like, that was cool, that was awesome. And then I was like, but I've never had a car on bags. So I had the opportunity, and I worked a fuck ton of overtime, and I bought Airlift Performance 3P, and I got it and installed it, and then I had some work wheels that I had on it, and arguably I think I liked those more, but then I ended up getting 3-piece wheels that VIP Modulars, and they popped up for sale, and it was for a smoking deal. And I was like, the guy was in Oklahoma, I'm in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, any chance you'd ship them? He's like, I can't. He's like, I have a lot of people interested. He's like, they all fall through. I'll look at shipping, but I really don't want to. I was like, okay, that's fair. And then I texted my buddy Neff, and we were working second shift at the time, get done at like 2 a.m. And I was like, you want to go to Oklahoma? And he's like, ha. I was like, seriously? He's like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. So we just drove straight to Oklahoma, and we picked up these wheels. And then the dude was so kind. He had a Focus RS, and they're perfectly fit to the car. And he's like, damn, you guys really drove all the way from Wisconsin. That's insane. He's like, if you want, you can like spend the night.
Imagine if you sold them.
Wow.
Yeah. And we were like, nah, we're just gonna head back. So we literally drove to Oklahoma, picked up the wheels, and just drove straight back.
How long of a drive was that?
Let me look here.
Driving to Oklahoma for wheels is diabolical.
I know, but we were just
And then back nonstop.
Yeah.
Did you have to work the next couple days?
No,
you were off.
It was the weekend.
Okay, gotcha.
And
To
we
make
had
up that
3 days off.
overtime.
Yeah.
Let me see here roughly. Yeah, it's about a 13, 14-hour drive
Just one way?
one way.
Holy.
Like a 16, 17.
It's okay. You're done.
Okay, there's a
Next.
stretch. But dude, I was dedicated to the game. I loved it. Like, it was like my first stuff,
Yeah.
right? First time having bags, first time having 3-piece wheels. Like, I was just so invested.
You were working your ass off to get it. You're like, I just want to get it.
All my money, every
Yeah.
cent to my name, I was just spending on this fucking Focus ST.
So what year was it? Because it was around 2016, 2017 that you got the VIP modulars for it.
I can look. I'm trying to think. I'm so bad with dates.
I'm trying to, when we first got really like started working together, it was around 2017, 2018, I believe.
Yep.
And I think you had just gotten the VIP modulars like that winter.
Because I was working at the DC when I picked them up. But yeah, I didn't have them that long.
So the reason I was asking is because like now we're talking like timeline. We're talking like 2015 was like peak.
Yeah.
Now it's like 2017 or 2018 or so. And the ST, like I remember being such a good looking, like proper, in my opinion,
It was-
stance
it was, like,
car.
perfect.
It wasn't like a tonic camber, but it had really good fit. You had like the fender to lip fitment, but at the same time, you also had like some of the aggressive aero, like I was talking about. Starting
But
to
it
come into
wasn't
mix.
overdone.
Right.
It was
Wasn't
everything.
wasn't
everything
like a
worked
chassis
cohesively.
mount wing. It was just like some wing risers and some you had like some canards and stuff.
I had
on there,
the
didn't you?
Rally Innovations wing on the back, which I found was super rare now and discontinued.
Damn.
And then I had a splitter on it, some canards, and yeah, I tried to blend that because, like I said, I went from like taking it to the track and autocross, drag strip stuff to kind of morphing it into a stance build. So I kind of like combined them, and I really liked how that looked. I not like claiming that. I think that was definitely a phase, and we're still seeing is like this like battle aero style builds. You know, it looks like 2018.
Nice. Yeah, it's right around that time.
Yeah, at that time, That's when I first met you. You had the ST, and I had just gotten rid of my red GLI, and I remember seeing your ST and being like, "Damn, this is like podium. Like this is like
no, I thought I know.
Like,
wow, thank you.
Yeah, I was like, this is like a really proper.
I hadn't seen
car.
a build like that in person.
Yeah,
and I was like,
that's how I felt too.
This is crazy. This is next level shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that means a lot. I remember when I picked up the ST, I was watching Mighty Car Mods.
Yeah.
And I was like, in that phase of my life, I was like, I want to do everything to this car myself. I want to learn how to do shit. I want to do stuff I've never done before. And then that's what I did with it. So I did every mod to that car. I did every like event that I could. I took it autocross for the first time in Drake Strip, like I said. And then also I won Best of Show at ST Fest.
Oh, nice.
So it was like all these things, like just check off. So that was huge for me. But I think that's like when I was done with it and ready to move on. I think I was ready to move on to the next step, and I got the Supra, and I lowered that pretty good. I think that'll always be in. I like good.
It was
fitment,
dumb,
but yeah, but I kept it more meaty fitment. I didn't go. You know, I even had the 3-piece wheels for a while, but I was like, nah.
And at the time, though, like I think like the whole like especially when you're talking about like getting the Supra and stuff, it's like that whole phase had like shifted like culturally too. Like people were like, how much tire can I tuck?
Yeah.
And it was like you had 305s in the rear tucking on the Supra, and it's like
sick.
That was pretty badass, but it's still like it was a good fitment. But like you would show that to someone in like 2013, 2014, and they're like, oh no, you need to go wider, you need to stretch a tire,
you need more camber.
It's
more offset.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that, and let's get into that. Like the second phase of what we hit. Like it was like the first battle pass season of stance cars. Like we had
Chapter
the
one.
OG game and then the battle pass dropped. But before we do that, I want to talk about
stuff to give away.
Yeah. Melco Automotive, baby. We're giving some away. And all you guys have to do is go to MartiniWorks.com and look at the Melco products and name your favorite one. Maybe you've never had it. Just name your favorite one. Comment it down below.
Use this.
Yeah, because we're going to pick one randomly. We'll put all the comments in a random generator. And someone that comments on this podcast, we're going to send you a bunch of detailing
a whole
stuff.
bucket.
As long as you're located in the United States. Because if you didn't know, Melco is one of the main sponsors of the MartiniWorks podcast. We're very thankful for them. We use them to clean up all of our cars in the shop and keep them tidy when we bring them to shows. And they do a fantastic job. So we'd love for you guys to experience that. And this is an exclusive giveaway for just people that listen to the podcast. So we want to thank you guys. And shout out for Melco to supply this for the giveaway. So
awesome.
Again, comment your favorite Melco stuff. If you don't know any, just head on over to MartiniWorks, take a look at some of them,
Grab one.
and comment it, and then we'll put them in, and we'll announce the winner ASAP.
Cool. Good luck. We'll be right back.
All right, Section 2, Chapter 2, Line 2.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Reload. Rewind.
Stance
OG.
cars. Where did they head after that? I feel like it was a huge rush. And like, I'm not saying it's not popular still, because
it's still definitely around, but it's
different.
Changed. It's not like it was. Like, dude, we were going back to those videos, and it was like, holy shit. Like, I want to say, like, looking back at a lot of the cars from there, none of them were like, for the most part, overdone by any means. It was like
super popular to get a brand new car that was just released and either bag it or put it on coilovers and just dump it on the most expensive wheels you could get. Like the AGs, for example, we were talking a little bit about it too. Avant-Garde. I remember those were on everything, and they were like the most baller. But they were on everything because like I feel like it was a huge marketing push for AG. Yeah. What they would do is give every single person that wanted to buy AG wheels, a sponsorship, because that was the big thing too. Social media was getting kind of crazy. Those pages were blowing up. So now everyone's like, oh, I want a sponsorship for my car, blah, blah, blah. Well, AG was smart, and they're like, okay, we're going to mark our wheels at $5,000. And yeah, you get a partial sponsorship. So guess what? You get them for $4,500.
Yeah.
What a deal.
What year are we talking about here?
That had been 20.
That was more in that first section, I feel like.
Yeah.
So now we're getting like past 2015. We're on that start to decline. So I'd say you're starting to get into 2016, 17, 18, 19. That era. And that's like you were saying too, I feel like that's where all of a sudden like the meaty fitments started coming in. Everyone was like, okay, stretch tires, that's kind of weird. I'm going to just try to fit the biggest tire I can while still bagging. Or
this is also where too I'm starting to think like a lot of your you think back to OG automotive YouTubers and stuff like TJ Hunt and Adam really started to like blow up.
It was like TJ's thing was like meaty fitment, wide body bags.
I was just about to say,
he was just known for that.
This is wide body era.
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, everybody was wide body, but it wasn't necessarily extreme camber. It was a lot of just meaty.
Very, like straight up and down, like from what I remember too. And if any camber was in there, it was just from natural camber from.
I feel
lowering.
like
some people still did the camber thing, but it was phased out a lot.
Even in the beginning, there was that crazy camber still, but I feel like that really got popular at like after the wide body phase. It was like everyone's like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna do stock body, and then I'm gonna do
stock body became cool.
But I still have to fit these 14 wides.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy to see that too, because I remember hopping in like full into like watching all that stuff. I'd watch that like majority of the time. I'm home, like I wanted to throw something on. I'm throwing on something like that TJ Hunt video or Adam LZ video or something like that. Dustin Williams.
He even did some stance builds and stuff.
Yeah. So it's like in that I'm trying to think of like that era. Like Brent, I think nailed it. Like turned it like later years turned a lot of like everything's wide body, everything's on bags, meaty fitments. I'm trying to think like Eliminate at the time. They were doing some like more. It was very still like JDM stuff.
Yeah,
but,
it was very like
professional.
I feel like
it was very professional, but like still had like that taste of. Kind
now
of like
that you're saying it was the shift in media changed with the shift in cars too, because what it went from was like car edits to like dubstep music and after movies, and it turned into like vlogs.
I'm gonna show you how I built this car.
Yeah. And then that exploded. And then we seen
different.
that new era of cars. But yeah, it's funny that you say, I almost forgot. Like you look back at TJ and Adam and Dustin and all those really big guys now, but when they started, they were all focused on stance stuff too. I feel like
at the very beginning. Yeah, definitely.
Why do you think that is, that more people, when they get into cars, start off with stance?
Accessible. It's cheaper.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Really?
Imagine. Okay. Here's two different scenarios. Two different scenarios. You're just first getting into cars. You have the option of, okay, I can modify my car, but like, what's the best route to go? Do I make it look good or do I make it perform good? What's going to be cheaper? I think making it look good is going to be way cheaper.
Sure.
If you want to go and do autocross, or if you want to drift it or whatever, motorsports are expensive. That's very pricey. Where there's a lot of stuff you can do cosmetically that is just DIY. So I think that kind of just leads into the whole stance and more of the just aesthetic route.
Yeah, I don't know. I almost think it's like it was just less. Like there's less videos about it. People weren't like vlogging and doing autocross really, because like you could go to an autocross event with your car the way it is, and you'd be okay. You'd be fine. And then the same thing for stance cars. You could spend as much as you wanted to. If you're doing airlift and these $5,000 AG wheels and all this stuff, like that can rack up really quickly.
But at the same time, it's like, I remember when I was first getting into cars and I was like, I didn't have the money to go blow on stuff. So like Brent was saying, it's like, I knew I wanted to do stuff with my car. How can I do stuff with my car right now without spending a ton of money?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, are you going to cut springs? Are you going to put the car in washers? Are you going to go find some third-hand multi-piece wheels that are way too wide, but fuck it, I'll just lower it and camber it with some eBay control arms or something like that for my Civic and just run it.
Dakota, you're totally right about it. You can just go into autocross with a stock car.
100%.
However, when you're like a kid just getting into it, you want to modify your car.
Right.
You want to do the stuff
to it.
I want to make it different.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising. Like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like everyone just naturally kind of, and I know there's some people that have like hated it since the beginning, but a lot of us, I think, gravitated towards like stancing a car versus, getting heavily into performance.
Yeah. Now, I think a good thing too is to kind of talk about the cars that were having this done, because looking back in a lot of those videos, and it could have just been the events too, like we're looking back at like Solo videos, H2O videos, all that sort of stuff. Very, very heavy Euro influence, like lots of Mark IVs, lots of I think like Mark VI at the time, Audis, S2Ks sprinkled in there. We talked about the WRXs and stuff like that. But now you can compare that to, I would say, a few years later, FRSs are getting thrown into the mix. Yeah. The newer age of like Japanese stuff was kind of coming through. And even a lot of the older JDM stuff. So now you start getting into like some of the VIP stance stuff, which I think really kind of took over the later years of like the 2010s in the stance scene, because people started to be like, okay, I want like camber and stuff, but I don't want to do it to a Mark IV. I want, or I don't want to do it to like an old Mercedes. I don't like Mercedes. They're unreliable, whatever. But that LS400 is kind of cool though. That GS300 is kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. There was a GS300 phase for sure.
Yes, there was.
I feel like it died out now. Honestly, I never ever see them. But I think they look really good slammed. Because it's a big body car. They're unique looking with those like the Lilo and Stitch guys headlights.
That's how I always thought of them too.
Yeah. Isn't there someone from Monsters Inc. too?
Oh, I think so. I can't remember though.
I always think of the. Why can't I think of his name from Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah, it's like identical with the
Jumbo.
I'm not going to remember his name. Only you would.
All right, I gotta look this up.
Pull. Yeah,
it's a Gels pull. Yeah,
I feel like it was a pretty popular movie.
Yeah, but I think the FRS BRZ
that I remember
was crazy.
The we were talking about this earlier too. The Gen Coupe and the FRS BRZ. Well, the FRS
Gen Coupe too. Yeah, Gen
like
Coupe.
the Gen Coupe and the FRS, when those came out, I remember going to a WCC event here in Appleton. I was living in Wausau at the time, and it was like never really saw those cars. And if you did, it was like off the lot, they were bone stock. And it's like going to one of the car shows or something here, and it was like, whoa, that one is on air, or that one has a wide body kit on it, and it's like it's wrapped like an iridescent color. Like that's the craziest car I've ever seen. Like I remember that specifically kind of being like a turning point for a lot of stuff too. Those platforms did so much, and that was a lot of platforms. Like you look at like you're talking about TJ Hunt. The BRZ Miley, like that was like the big car that I remember watching him build back in the day, and like the phases that car went through and the wide bodies and all that sort of stuff. Like the aftermarket just following and support for those platforms, I feel like blew up so much.
Yeah, they were everywhere. And every single style of build you could do with them, and the Rocket Bunny kits and oh my gosh, it just went insane. It blew up.
I feel like the FRS BRZ is partially responsible for like wide bodying becoming so popular that the cool thing was then to keep it stock body.
Yeah, 100%. It was like every show you went to, there'd be 4 or 5 wide bodied FRSs.
Yeah, his name was Jumbo, by the way, and he is 100% a GS300.
Yeah, he's a camera. He's a GS300.
That's a GS300. Indistinguishable, actually.
Bring those back. I never see them anymore. Yeah. Those are good.
There's some drift,
bring that guy back.
ones every now and then, or GS400, GS300.
Either way.
There's some GSs that drift every now and then.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you start getting into now, do you think stance is dying?
Yeah.
I mean, we were just at GAT, and not relating it to GAT being shut down, because it wasn't like it was shut down because no one was showing up. Too many people were showing up.
That's a problem.
So at that point, is it like more popular than ever, or do you guys think it's phasing out?
Because it's like, I would say, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's a tough call, but I think the car scene is becoming more divisive, if that's the right word. There's different groups, and those groups are sticking to their groups. So like there's the stance people, and there's motorsport people, and I think that's becoming a lot more divided.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is, though?
Personally, like this is my take on it, is like I think stance is, and this kind of goes back to the money thing too, where it's like it's easily accessible to get into it. So with that, you have a lot of younger kids just getting into it. And sometimes the younger kids don't have that experience of like, oh, you shouldn't do these like hood rat things because it's not ultimately good for the car scene. And I kind of lost my train of thought.
That's all right. I get what you're saying. It is almost like, to an extent, this is a generalization, but like age groups and stuff too. I feel like as you get a bit older, you start getting a little less into it. However, disclaimer, there's everyone from every age group in every scene, whether you have super young kids in motorsport or older people I've seen in slammed trucks and cars all the time. So, but in a general aspect, I would say the younger crowd is a little more into the stance scene, where as you get 30 plus, where we're starting to head, we get more focused on motorsports.
And
okay, so I kind of regained my train of thought.
Derailed and railed.
Yeah, I'm railed.
What?
What? Pause. Hold up. Don't clip that. Don't clip that.
I'm clipping it.
You're canceled.
But okay. So with that, you get the kids doing the hood rat things, and us. At least for me personally, I don't want to be associated with that. I don't want to be the person who's getting these shows shut down. I love the shows. I love stance cars. I think they look sick. But if the majority of people in that group, or maybe not the majority, but if there's a higher percentage of bad eggs in that group, I don't want to be associated with it. So then that makes me naturally gravitate towards motorsports.
Right.
And
like,
things that don't involve
what community is better for me then?
Exactly. So I think that's where the dive, where people are like, they're choosing their lane and they're staying to that lane.
Yeah. I also look at it too. It's like, we kind of talked about, well, people weren't slamming their cars. Like our parents weren't slamming their cars and stuff like that. It's like, okay. And that turned out to be what it is. And it's like, you look back at these videos, 2015, that was 10 years ago. Yeah. Those people in those videos were 20 some years old. They're in their 30s, almost probably 40s now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What are they into now?
Exactly. So it's like, as you get older, things change and stuff like that. Or it's like,
but some people
carry that with you.
I still know people from those videos that still have slammed
100%,
cars and stuff. And
100%.
I still love them. I love them. I would still love to do like a Mark IV GTI slammed. I would love to do that.
You did.
I did. Yeah, I say it like I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But like
Easy Mac.
Yeah, Easy Mac with the cheesy wraps.
Yeah, that was such a good car.
Such a sick.
But I would love to have that even now. Like I sold that car. I'd still do it again. I still love that. But I'd say like as my main vehicle, I'm definitely more in a functional phase of my life.
It's like, I 100% get it. But kind of coming back to the question there too, it's like, are they dying out or whatever? I look back to the last couple of years that we've went to Gatlinburg, and it's like the kind of addition and influence of the motorsport scene having on the quote unquote show scene. Yes, the cars were still low, but it's like, it wasn't what we were watching, and it wasn't what it was when I first started going to GAT, and there wasn't a ton of excessive camber anymore. It was more very, very dialed in stuff. It was focused on like interiors and trunk setups. And, you look at some like the Vaded cars, for instance, like Josh's like Chaser, for instance. It's like, yes, that's a 100% like a show I would consider like stance car, but it's also like so much more than that.
It's still like function at its core.
Imagine seeing something like that in one of those movies at 2015. Like that would be insane. Not saying it's not an insane car already, but like
it would have stood out so much,
right?
In that,
it's like
it still stands out.
But it's shifted. It shifted from like, here's just a new, like we said, new car on that's low as fuck and on some wide or like expensive ass wheels, and that was really all it took. But now it's like, okay, how do we stand out from that and it get more excessive, more refined? Because it was too accessible. How do we dial it back but still do stuff? But also, I think there was a combination in there of different styles. Like we took a fucking Pro Formula Mazda open wheel car to Gatlinburg this year, and an RB swapped Datsun 240Z. I think, but like no one batted an eye. They were like, "That's sick." Right. I love seeing that here. So I think it actually just got more accepting. Like people are like, "I've seen the same Mark IV on fucking 3 SDMs 30 times. I want to see something different."
Yeah.
And it's just opened the doors a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's dying. I think it is a little bit less popular than it was. And I think it was so popular because it was so mind-boggling. Again, like taking it back to when I said I've seen my first cambered car online and in person. I can remember both times specifically because it stuck out to me so much.
Yeah.
Now you've seen it 3 billion times, Like I feel like we were in that era of like when it really happened, and that's why it was so everywhere and everyone was doing it. And maybe now it's a little bit less because it's been done over and over and over and over and over again. So I feel like people are just branching out and going back to other things now.
I would like to see, like, I would. So remember, like when we were first, maybe me, I guess, in like 2016 area, 2017, whatever. looking in those days when I'd look back and I'd see like a 2000s build, I hated it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was
know what you
so
mean.
gross. Now I see that, I'm like, that shit's sick.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool. I
think
would love to see that make a comeback.
Nostalgia is a powerful thing.
It is
huge
totally.
thing.
I totally get what you're saying. I relate completely with it. You're like, oh, that's a ricer. Like, that's a ricer.
But now it's like you look back and it's like, dude, that body kit's so fucking rare and it's actually in good shape.
how
It's
much
like,
work it was to
Yeah,
get that to
right.
fit and go on there, and like unique how one-off it is. Like, you really respect it. Maybe that comes from like time too, like doing multiple builds and stuff and working on different vehicles, that now you can kind of appreciate what that person did, even if it isn't your style. You do it to your own vehicle. I think you learn more about it. But
do you think like all those cars that we're talking about from like 2013 and to 2016, 2011, 2016, they're out there somewhere, or have they been like redone? Like, have they just been absolutely scraped through?
I was going to say, some of them stance cars, those fenders,
Didn't last long.
I was wondering when the day will come when we go to a junkyard and everything's just cut fenders with wide body kits falling
Honestly,
off.
I feel
of it.
like it's not that far. Have you seen
probably
some of the
not far.
FRSs out there nowadays?
Yeah.
My
They're
God.
all chopped up. Yeah.
Holy
I've seen some
shit.
people that have picked up cheap FRSs that have been modified. Oh my
When they
God,
don't do the
dude.
wide body right, and they
Oh,
like don't,
and there's so
fix
many.
anything after they cut the fenders, and
Yeah.
bad.
just gets rotted out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all it takes is like, especially up here,
One winter.
One winter, and
One
then
winter.
toast.
That thing's going to start rotting from the inside out. So those are bad. So yeah, definitely. Like if you're picking up a car from an earlier era like that, I would be very hesitant to scoop anything, because you got to make sure it's done right if you did it.
Especially if it's wide bodied. Because like if you're not cutting the fenders, you're not doing it properly with proper welds and sealing it back up, which a lot of people don't do because they're just doing it DIY.
respect where respect is due, though. We talked about like where do these cars go and like, is it dying? I'd say the Volkswagen guys still 100%
they got it going
being
on.
the Volkswagen guys.
I feel like they started it and they'll end it.
They're in their. They've been in. You know where they've been the last 10 years? In their fucking garage with their car on a rotisserie, taking every little speck of rust and dirt off of it,
making the
sealing,
cleanest engine bay known to man, hiding every line,
tucking
wire.
everything.
What is it about
shaving
those
everything.
cars? What is it about those cars? I don't like. Well, okay, so my mindset with the car is like you own it to drive it, and you drive the shit out of it. The only car that I'd want to have where I just let it sit in a garage and make it immaculate is a Mark IV. Like, what is it about those cars that it's just? That's how I feel like everybody feels that way too.
Is that just what like we were introduced to with all of this?
Like
and
that's
like,
how
what
we've
we hang
seen
on?
those cars. Like
Because
we've
you
seen
said like
them.
like a Mark IV was like your introduction.
Yeah.
You had a Mark IV stance car.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just because, like, again, nostalgia. We remember
It's a
going and
powerful
seeing
bitch.
them like that. So we want that again, and we want to have it and keep it pristine, because it's, Lord knows how it is to pick up a clean Mark IV. I mean, that's a grail in itself, right? You know, you get a clean Mark IV, you almost just want to leave it anyways. You don't want to do anything,
There
period.
is something with those cars because you sold. Did you have your Mark IV when you had the ST still? Or no.
Yes, I
Oh,
did.
you did. Yeah. You got the Mark IV, and it was all of a sudden you had every spare part. You had different subframes.
Oh,
you
God,
had
dude.
so much
you
shit.
had
So bad.
Another Mark IV.
Yeah, then I bought another Mark. Like, dude, it is a
like
fucking
it
Mark
was
IV.
like
For your
in
Mark
a
IV.
matter of like 3 months, and
my entire
this dude,
house was just filled with
this
Volkswagen
dude was a
parts.
Volkswagen guy.
Oh my God, it is crazy.
There is something there.
There's something different about Volkswagen. Maybe that's a whole different video. It's like, what drug is Volkswagen? You know, and like, should we ban it?
I'd say you did a really good for what that car was. I think you killed that car.
Oh, thanks,
Like,
dude.
Yeah,
the
it was-
heritage wheels on,
sick.
like both sets. Honestly, I think you pulled off really well. But like that, was it the Stuttgarts that you
Yes,
got?
yeah, the Heritage Stuttgarts. I love
Dude,
those
and
on
you
there.
did the subframe swap.
So yeah, I had to
drop
get
plates.
engine mounts to raise the engine. I had to get different axles. I had to get R32 spindles, different subframe. I had to notch my frame.
Yep.
It's so much work to get them to lay, but like it's so sick when they lay out.
Some of
So
those,
good.
I remember
And you
like
put
some
it
of
on
those
the
photos, like,
ground.
the
Dude,
old
the
McDonald's over here. The
winter
photos
photo
you
set.
Oh,
the winter
oh,
photo
yeah.
set went so hard.
I'm glad I drove it in the winter. I got a lot of shit for that. Like people are like, "Oh, you're driving a Mola in the winter." And
Drive
it's
your
like,
car.
Yeah,
Drive your
like
car.
it's been resprayed 30 times.
Exactly, and I don't regret it. And that my only regret about that car was getting that specific one and not just saving and waiting for the right one. I impulse traded for it, and I wish I would have just got a clean example. That one
So tough though.
had a very rough history, and on top of what I did there to get the look I wanted, I did so much fixing and fucking every single time I got in that car, there was a new issue, something from the previous. I hit a bump and my radio flew out.
That's what wore you
like,
out of that car, right?
Yeah.
You're done working on it eventually.
But like the way that it like came out though with what you did, like I feel like that was such a Dakota Stone.
It was.
Car.
That is the Dakota Stone car for me. I think.
I need to get one again. Even the Mola yellow. Like I love the color. I love 20th anniversary ones. How they came with Recaros and the lip kits.
Like you like leave for work and that thing. I'm like that makes sense. Like that's his car.
I need a Harlequin.
Absolutely.
Harlequin or a 20th again.
Damn.
Maybe one day I'll get one. I say that, but every day that goes by, I get further away from it because another one goes to the scrapyard or gets rain gutters put on it. Funny story, I might have said this before, but like I'm in the Mark IV pages because of that, and man, the shit you'd see in there. But I literally seen a
Mark
post.
IV pages are
oh my god, they're so bad.
They're a different level, dude.
You have the most intelligent people on the planet and probably the lowest intelligent people on the planet.
The lowest intelligent get ran through.
Oh, they do. It's so bad.
You post one wrong thing and everybody's out to get you, dude.
But there was a post one day I opened it and this person was dead ass. It was not a troll post. It was not rage bait. He was going to Home Depot, buying rain gutters and making them into side skirts, and that is just the most Mark IV Volkswagen thing I've ever seen.
Here's the thing, though: aren't most like rain gutters like plastic or fiberglass anyway? It's the same shit they're making the side skirts on.
Yeah, but it's on a Mark IV, so you have to do it absolutely perfect.
Right.
I can tell you this: it didn't look good. It was not.
Shit. I had
horrible.
Maybe it
wasn't like, oh, that was cool, good DIY mod. No, it's that being posted. It's
the Home Depot lips, garage door lips.
Oh, that was a big. I did that. I
tried to do
it.
It wouldn't stick to my.
Mine ripped off immediately. Mine was called an Easy Lip, so it was
actually
literally
marketed for that.
Yeah,
okay.
it was.
I literally went to Home Depot and bought the garage door seal.
It's the same thing. It was the exact same thing. They just had 3M on it already. That's all it was. And I ripped it off immediately. But it seemed like a good idea.
I saw pictures that looked good. At least I thought they did at the time.
Yeah, that's rough. But Fortune Auto, want to bring those guys up quick.
That's not rough.
They've been a popular choice for a lot of stance builds, and at least in your era.
Yeah, that's as I say. From stancing my Evo or my Focus, because I slammed the piss out of those on those, to going more functional in my Supra, to racing the GTT out on the track and drifting. They literally can do it all. That's why I love Fortune Auto so much, and it's just awesome. It works perfectly because they're one of the sponsors of the MartiniWorks podcast. So if you guys haven't had a set of Fortune Auto coilovers, you're looking to get a set of really nice coilovers, head on over to MartiniWorks, take a peek. We have pre-made ones that are ready to go. Otherwise, if you need something a little more custom, we can definitely help you dial in custom spring rates or do valving. Yep. Tell them what you're going to do with the car and they will dial them in perfect. You can do a Swift spring upgrade, all that good stuff. So if you guys are interested, make sure to head on over to MartiniWorks.com. Check out Fortune Autos. Put them on your car. Love them to death. And if you have them in 15 years, you can send them back out to Virginia because they'll rebuild them for you and get them all back to spec. So
sure thing.
We'll be right back.
So all that being said, we're sitting in 2025, almost coming up to a wrap now. 10 years since, quote unquote, the peak of the stance era.
That's a trip.
Isn't it? Is it time for it to make a comeback? If it is, what would you build?
If we're going to stance a car. Lay in frame.
10-year anniversary. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Like, you're say, hey, I want to relive my childhood, essentially.
I mean, like we were talking about, Mark IV GTI 100%, or a Harlequin would be my dream to do. But besides that, I think a big body car, I think they lay out so damn well. So any like JDM import, pretty much, that you can get older JDMs are, oh my God, there's so many that are just phenomenal for laying out. I think a Century would be really sick. Those things are so gangster, dude. They're just big and heavy and luxurious and look crazy. So I think that would be fun. Or just, I don't know, it'd be kind of fun to just take like how it was back in 2013, 14, taking like a new model car and just not doing anything else to it other than just like lowering it super low and putting on the nicest wheels you could find. I think that'd be kind of sick. And I don't know what I would do it with though. I'm trying to think what's coming out. What's the newest vehicle that's cool that's coming out? Like The Prelude's coming up. I don't think that's a coolest.
Yeah, I've seen like a lot of people do it with like the Type R's, honestly.
Yeah,
which is like, again, like kind of that controversial thing. Like the Type R is supposed to be such like a track dedicated, like, you know, just
I love
functional
that
car.
though.
So people like, you know, putting them on air or like stancing them a little bit with some camber. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know,
Not meant for that.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Brent?
Dude, I don't know. I'm trying to think right now. Give me some time.
What would do a Bugatti Veyron?
Honestly, I've always wanted to do like an old school Civic build. I think
that's a good one.
I think like doing
That's
like
a good one.
like an EK or like an EG hatch. I
Yeah.
would think I would have so much fun with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I know like the good parts for those have gone fucking astronomical for some reason.
Yeah.
But I think, you know,
Ooh, I got
just
mine.
doing something like that would be
That's
so
a phenomenal car. That was a really
and
good
it's
one.
and it's kind of like
Good
you know,
point.
kind of same thing with like the Mark IV. It's like that sporty just hatch, like it's
Yeah.
just got that fucking vibe to it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
So there's a car that I will probably never own, but I would love to. It's
Yeah.
like one of those where I just wouldn't invest the money. But if I had to build another stance car, absolutely an RSX.
Ooh,
Dude, there was a couple in my
Yeah.
hometown, and I always drooled over them, and I seen some really good ones.
dude, that
So
is a
good.
good call. I remember there was and I think it was like kind of later, like, you know, 2017, 2018. The RSX platforms came like pretty popular again.
Yeah.
But like people were doing like the turbo builds on them, and I remember there was one like it was all like gold plated, like engine bay, like super shaved, and then there was one that was at Riverside a couple years ago that reminded me a lot of that. The way like the turbo would just sit in that engine bay was so fucking crazy looking, and I just loved those cars. Also, my cousin had an RSX back in the day, and I honestly say that's what got me into cars.
Damn.
So it was like going for a ride in that. And I
Joe's
was
got
like,
a big nostalgia bone for.
the RSXs are
RSX.
dope. I like them.
I would do a Caliber SRT4 too.
Caliber,
Slam it.
Those are
yeah.
neat.
Again, hatch.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, any wagon or hatch gets
yeah.
a free pass for stancing.
Can't tell if those cars are really ugly or really cool.
It's a little bit of both. It honestly is. They're clunky.
I think it's one of those where it's like if you do the right stuff to it, and it has to be the right stuff, it could be really cool. If not, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, they're weird. They're definitely weird, which is why I like them so much.
I feel like they look like a van just downsized.
100%.
Yeah, it was like
I think
it was like the first like kind of like crossover kind of thing. I
I
think.
might be wrong, but I'm almost 90% sure the Dodge Caliber SRT4 has the same steering wheel as the Dodge Caravan.
Checks out.
I think it does. I'm almost sure.
Is that
But
the weird like?
it's ugly as fuck.
It's four-spoke, right?
It's ugly as sin. I think it's four-spoke.
Oh,
It just has
God.
that big blocky middle in it.
Yeah.
I just remember like Dodge having like the worst like green LED like interior.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
stuff. Oh, it was horrible.
They had the really cool though, the like Viper style seats that SRT4s came with. I love the seats in those things.
Yeah, like their
hugged you.
ACR editions.
I probably wouldn't fit in them.
Did they
too
do
well now, but
Did they do an ACR SRT4 Caliber?
not that I know of.
Oh, that would have been
I
sick.
mean, I can look it up. I don't think they did though. I
Because they
think
did
that was
the
that's big on the
SRT4
back.
Neon's ACRs, and those were
and
kinda
those were
neat.
those are cool. It came with like factory BBS wheels that
Yeah.
were really tiny.
Talk about another car that went through the absolute ringer.
Yeah.
SRT4 Neon.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
for sure. It's hard to find
Dude.
any of them now that are
It's a
nice.
I got I get so excited because like I'll you hear it first before you see him, and then we were driving downtown the other day and I like saw one like coming up. I was like, oh, sick SRT4, and then just the whole side was just rusted. Like I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
from the rocker to a back around the wheel arch was just gone. I'm like, that poor fucking car.
I promise you, I will get excited every time I see an SRT4. I don't
Yeah.
care. I get so
yeah, me too.
even the clapped ones, I get a little excited. I'm like, oh, and then I get closer. I'm like, God,
One thing I've wondered
still.
is like,
fuck.
did Dodge purposely do something with like the valve train or the head to make it sound aggressive?
I don't know. It is one
Like
of the
they-
gnarliest sounding.
It's a great sounding four
But if
cylinder.
you have 500
They have, like,
Abar
the same
sounds the
thing.
same.
yeah,
yeah,
that's
they
also
have,
a
like-
Chrysler product.
Oh my god. What is crazy?
I just farted and shit pants.
Are so fast. Yeah, what the
so
hell is
loud.
Chrysler doing with their turbo four bangers that just sound
Everything
like
right
they
is
were
what they're
unleashed
doing.
from hell?
Then they released the Dodge Dart.
Yeah.
It did not
Dodge
sound like
fart.
it did not.
I was
sound
really
like
excited for that car when it
I
came
was
out.
too.
Because of
It was like
dude,
this is the new gen
it's
SRT4.
the
But then
I know.
they didn't do that.
yeah, because we missed up. I'll never forgive my parents for choosing the SXT the red SXT over the blue SRT sitting in the lot.
Damn it. That would have been crazy if your parents just picked up an SRT.
My dad wanted the SRT because his thing was he had a Dodge Shadow back in the day.
Yep.
And he thought it was the coolest shit because what the hell did they have? It was turbocharged. I remember saying, he's like, it always sounded so sick. But I was like, oh man, that must be a really cool car. Then I'd like look up like what a Dodge Shadow is. Dude, they were like the ugliest fucking little cars. Look at this.
Let me see.
Dude, I don't know. I think that's kind of cool.
It's got like
Imagine that dumped.
It's got like the Fox
That's the
body
stance car I'm picking.
It's almost like a Mark II Volkswagen, but just a couple different angles. Like it
Yeah,
still has
a
the
little bit longer.
angles, but like a little bit different.
Yeah, so the Dodge Shadow ES Turbo.
It's cool that it's turbo.
It does. It gives me Fox body vibes.
It
It
sound
honestly
like
does.
SRT4.
It's the great value Fox body.
Yeah, so
It
it
was
was
the
a.
shadow of a Fox body.
This is a 2.2 liter turbo, 146 horsepower.
Yeah.
What the?
Why the hell didn't you keep that?
What horsepower was that without the turbo? Christ Almighty! Jesus.
I don't know how big the turbo was, but
Probably like 67.
yeah. Oh my God, Brent.
Brent's on 6.7K.
Yeah,
Help him.
he's young.
Needs
But
therapy.
yeah, I remember it was. They were looking for the new car, and it was the SXT Inferno Red, which we got, and then it was like the blue SRT4. My dad's like, "Oh man, reminded me a lot of that Shadow. Would make the turbo noises."
Yeah.
It's like, it's manual though. I don't know.
Ah, damn it, dude.
I don't know if your mom wants to drive manual all the time. We'll go with the red one.
Ah.
Damn, that SRT4 could have been yours, John.
would've
I
been
know because
yours.
I ended up with the SXT neon.
And the trajectory of your life would
You
have
don't-
changed because you would have started with a turbocharged
Talk
vehicle.
about the fucking butterfly effect.
Yeah.
How different my life would have been.
I
if
wonder-
they chose the
I wish
SRT.
I could see your lineup of vehicles if you would have started with the SRT.
They would have all been turbocharged.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, realistically, we're kind of talking shit right now, but like realistically, I feel like it would because when I went from my Mustang to my Cobalt SS and I got the turbo and I did my first bolt-on mods in a tune and I got those turbo noises, I was like, there's no fucking way I'm ever going back.
Yeah.
Like, I love turbo 4-cylinders.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've bounced back and forth. Like I've owned I think 12 cars now and bounced back and forth multiple times.
Because the biggest thing was like, I kind of like inherited like the neon. Essentially, it was like, okay, you're 16, like,
Yep.
yeah, you can drive the car.
Here's the family car.
And I was like, well, can I do something? They're like, well, just don't fucking break it. I'm like, sick. So it was just kind of like one
Yeah,
of those things.
yeah.
And it's like, but the whole time I was like, man, how can I make this an SRT4? Like what's the swap look like? What's a dumb
16-year-old kid
16-year-old
scheming.
shit.
Yeah, we all
But
did
it's
that,
like,
yeah.
yeah, what if it already was that?
Manual swap wouldn't be that much.
Literally, yeah. Like, how hard is that? So it was like
It goes
feel
through
like-
everybody's thought
so it was
process
like
at one
it was
point.
that, and it's like, okay, well, no, I'm gonna go look for a different car then, and I ended up with the Eclipse because it's like, well, I wanted an Eclipse really bad, and I just took the first one that came to me, which was a free blown up GS, which again was a base model 4-cylinder NA.
Yep.
Essentially just a glorified neon because it was the same motor essentially.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, it was. I think it would have ended up a lot different because I feel like probably would have stuck with the neon for a lot longer then.
Brent, do you think there's any car that you owned that changed the trajectory of what you got after it? It was that good?
Okay. I can tell you that the car I own now has done that for me.
That's crazy.
100%.
Because you own a
Genesis Coupe.
Yeah.
So I used to be a 4-cylinder all-wheel drive, like 4-cylinder turbo all-wheel drive car. Like I had a bunch of different Subarus and whatever. Really liked that formula. And then I got the Genesis, and then I got into drifting, and now I'm like rear-wheel drive is just the way. Front engine rear-wheel drive is just that's my jam now at this point.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
That's quite the change up.
Yeah.
I will not go back to front wheel drive unless it's like my third vehicle.
Are you one of them guys?
It's like I don't even like hate on it. It's just
I think front wheel drive can be so fucking
it
good.
can be, and I love it. But like after like 3 pulls, it gets boring.
Nah. I disagree. I think you can have just as much fun with any drivetrain, just depending on how you drive and what you're doing with it.
Fair
They
enough.
all have their pros and cons. Otherwise, the Civic Type R would not come in front-wheel drive.
True.
I think that's a pinnacle of front-wheel drive. Honestly,
love
I don't
those
know.
cars.
I don't know what really beats it for a front wheel drive?
Veloster N maybe, or those?
No,
I wouldn't take that. Wait,
the
are N's all wheel drive?
no.
Oh, they're not.
But I would think Civic Type R is at the top of the list.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like what would even be competitive in that same formula.
Cobalt SS, SRT4,
What about the
GTIs. Oh, I love all that.
What about the Integra Type S?
That's all-wheel drive, isn't it?
No, they're front wheel
Front-wheel
drive.
The Type S? Oh.
Yep.
I seen one the other day, like literally yesterday. We went to Target, and dude, they look good. And
they look
They
awesome.
got some big old brakes on them too. Holy shit!
Yeah,
I could see the caliper from across the parking lot. I was like, "Whoa!"
Veloster N's
Type
front
S.
wheel drive.
Whoa.
I don't know why I was questioning that. It's front wheel drive.
You had me tripping out for a
Yeah,
second.
I don't know why I was that. I think
If it was all-wheel drive, that car would be way more popular.
I was getting
It'd
confused.
also be really
with
expensive, probably. That's probably why they went front-wheel drive.
confused with the GR Corolla for some reason.
I don't know. I'm addicted
GR
to
Corolla's overhyped.
4-cylinder turbo front wheel drive cars. I think are some of the most fun vehicles you can drive. I'll stand by that.
They handle really well.
I still love rear wheel drive and all wheel drive. I do.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I just
Front-wheel drive handles really well. So, I mean, that's fun. And if you're like in autocross and stuff, front-wheel drive is fantastic.
yeah, right. Yeah, it's situational based, and I don't honestly. I think the more modern front wheel drive has gotten, the more boring it has gotten too. Because people complain like they've gotten better, like time wise.
Yeah, so there's less torque steer and less exaggeration.
Yeah, there's so many like assists and stuff built into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dakota, what's your like drivetrain layout? What's your favorite? What's your formula?
I'd say, well,
or what car? Okay, actually, let's go back to the other question.
6-cylinder really is the sweet spot, I think.
Let's go back to the other question. What car made you switch your mindset on your favorite layout?
That was the Cobalt SS, like I said, honestly.
Okay.
It really is, because that changed everything. Like I did my first ever mods to the Mustang, and it was cool, like hearing it, doing an intake and hearing it when, you know, when you did it, I was like, holy cow. And then doing an exhaust, and it was so different. So that got me hooked on modifying my car.
So now,
Performance,
back to the other one. Now, what is your preference?
Ooh, yeah. I want to say 4-banger turbo, front wheel drive, but like the Supra was almost like the perfect platform in my eyes.
Yeah.
And that's rear wheel drive, 6-cylinder turbo. Like
rear wheel drive.
I don't think I can name a con about it.
No.
Literally, I can't name one bad thing.
Haha, BMW. Haha.
Yeah,
That was the best
it's
part.
also a reason why we've seen, you know, like the 335s and like those like 35 like series cars get so fucking expensive, popular, is because of that setup.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's
a good
a
formula,
little bit
man.
more juice because you got the 6 cylinders. It's turbocharged, so it can get a little rowdy. You can do, you know, the same upgrades and mods and actually get like good benefits from it. Yeah,
I think 6-cylinder turbo might be like the pinnacle.
unless it's a new Nissan Z.
I would. I would agree, because like there's so many just robust inline 6-cylinder engines that can beat out lots of V8s. So I mean, it's such a good middle ground, because like a 4-cylinder turbo, you can make them fast, but it's all going to be high end power because the turbo takes a while to spool because you don't have that displacement at the low end. The 6-cylinder, you have that displacement. It's not quite as big and bulky as a V8, and it still can make just as much power if you have the right engine too. So I mean, yeah, that's a good formula. It's a good pick.
That's why I like. I'm not picky though. I like them all.
Something like Lars' M5 V8 twin turbo that
I mean,
pulls like a fucking freight train.
It does. Yeah, that is a unique experience too, because we got to drive M5s on the track. I don't know why though. That isn't it for me though. That isn't like, that's fun to do, but that's not what I want all the time. I don't really know why.
Sure.
Maybe because in my head it's not achievable. Like I'm not going to be buying an M5.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's crazy. So maybe I'm like just automatically, subconsciously downplaying it. It is insane. Like that shit literally give you like tunnel vision.
Dude,
for sure.
that shit had us giggling like crazy.
Like the R35 GTR is like another car that I think is just like perfection.
6-cylinder, dude.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like
V6 though.
like I actually have never
bit different.
driven one. Anyone have an R35 GTR I could drive? I got to ride my buddy Mario's a bunch of times, and it's like, and even I've had friends in the past I did photo shoots and stuff for, and getting to ride him. That feeling, that sound, everything combined, it's like this is it. Like this shit's
those
crazy
things just hook too. Like
Yeah. tunnel vision, rip
Yeah.
your face off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stomach in your throat kind of feeling. It's so good. It's so good.
Man. Well, that's that.
Yeah. Well, last sponsor of MartiniWorks Podcast, you know how you put that part of the ground, baby? Continental tires.
Oh, yeah, that's a good choice.
Yes, sir. Whether you want Extreme Contact Sport 02s or you want Viking Contact 8s for the winter or you're just doing all seasons, you can get the DWS 06 Plus. Continental literally makes a tire for everybody, whether it's a daily driver, an enthusiast car, whatever you have, whatever size wheels you got pretty much. They come in a million different sizes. They have a bunch of different warranties. I run Continental on every car I get the chance because those are my favorite tires. I even have a Continental tattoo. That's how much I love them.
I got Contis.
Yep.
Rip the tail of the dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just went on the tail of the dragon during Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
Lars and I went. I got some ECS02s. My God.
Were they good?
It was really good. It was really, really good.
Was that your first set of Continentals?
Yeah, it's my first set of Continentals. So I've had many tires on that car. And I will 100% without a doubt say that my grip has increased by 2 times.
Look at that.
For sure.
There it is.
It was fun because after the first run we stopped and I pulled over and there was rubber tire beating because it was really
pilling.
hot. It was whatever that term is, and feeling the tires with my fingers, they were noticeably softer after they got that heat cycle in them. So sick.
That's so cool. Well, I mean, there it is. There's the plug. So if you guys are interested, head on over to MartiniWorks, pick up a set of Continentals, and then in the notes of the order put Conti, because that's what you do. So thank you to Continental for being a sponsor of MartiniWorks Podcast. Brent, Joe, thanks for being on the podcast.
Absolutely.
We ate Alex, so he's not there, but good luck on the giveaway for Melco. Make sure you drop that comment, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.